like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Moore,
Here.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Here.
Councilman Iacilli.
Here.
Councilman Powell.
Present.
Councilman Martell.
Here.
All right, let's start the work session with a review of the agenda for the November 12th board meeting. There's going to be 7 public hearings. The first is to consider amending the Town Code Chapter 8, the budget, to override the tax levy limit established by General Municipal Law 3C. The second public hearing is to consider any increases proposed in the maximum amount to be expended annually in the town of Southampton special districts. The third is a public hearing on the 2026 preliminary budget. The fourth public hearing is to consider amending Town Code Chapter 330-163 and Chapter 330-181 to reduce the term of zoning board and planning board members from 7 years to 4 years. The fifth public hearing is to consider historic landmark designation of the site required as the Nathan Topping Cook family home located at 439 Hayground Road, Bridgehampton. The sixth public hearing is to consider a request to extinguish a town-owned development right in relation to a carriage house proposed to be designated as a town landmark at 439 Hayground Road, Bridgehampton. And the seventh public hearing is to consider the adoption of the annual CPF Pilot Payment Plan 2025-2026 tax year. Okay, so let's move forward with the resolutions.
Okay, Town Board Resolution ID number 51384, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorized grant for Youth Bureau from the New York State Partnership for Children, Youth, and Families.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51306 to authorize the purchase of computers for police vehicles from Island Tech Services LLC using Omnia Partners contract and the New York State OGS contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 51294 to authorize the purchase of firearms, ammunition, and less lethal products from various contractors using the New York State OGS contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 51386, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, to authorize the purchase of New York RICI Live Scan portable tablet from Clearview Data Systems, Inc., using the New York State OGS contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 51326, to authorize purchases of process service long arm from One World Judicial Services, Inc., using the Suffolk County contract.
Town Board Resolution 51293, authorized purchase of snow equipment, parts, accessory, and cutting edges using the Town of Hennepin's contract.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51263, to authorize purchases of technology solutions from GovConnection, Inc., doing business as Connection-Public Sector Solutions using the Omnia contract.
Town Board Resolution ID 51321, authorize supervisor to sign a contract extension for portable toilet rentals with Call Ahead.
Town Board Resolution 51316, authorized supervisor to sign a contract extend accept of Town of Southampton North Sea landfill leach and waste water with clear flow technology. Town Board Resolution ID 51320, authorized supervisor to sign contract extend and dispose recycle service to unprocessed construction and demo debris with Winter Brothers Recycle of Long Island LLC. Town Board Resolution 51314, authorized supervisor to sign a contract extend traffic line striping and traffic market with Sendo Pavement Market, Inc. Town Board Resolution 51312, authorized supervisor to sign contract extend with Parkline Asphalt Maintenance, Inc. for application of crack sealer. Town Board Resolution 51318, authorized supervisor to sign contract extend for roll-off containers with Mammoth Solution, Inc. Town Board Resolution 51313, authorized supervisor to sign a contract extend and supply fabricate of steel, aluminum, and welding with Pennsylvania Steel Corp., Inc.
Town Board Resolution ID 51385, authorize supervisor to sign contract extension with Coastal Commercial Property Management, Inc. for irrigation maintenance and repair.
Town Board Resolution 51319, authorize supervisor to sign contract extend and Speckler Manufacturer, Inc. for closed top shelf container injet trailer with hydro roof opening. I'm gonna, I might table this. I want to look at this first. But I can do that on Tuesday.
Yeah, if you have to withdraw it or table it.
Town Board Resolution 51317, co-sponsored with Councilman McMahon and Moore, and Supervisor Moore, authorize supervisor to sign contract extend for furnish and delivery of soda oil, lubrication grease with Lubid LLC of West Hampton Water Supply and Grade A Petroleum Corp. Town Board 51311, authorize supervisor to sign contract extend for stale sweeper parts and gutter and rear boom with Malvese Equipment Cup and Trice, Inc.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51394 to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with Serafi LLC for legal education services.
Town Board Resolution ID 51383, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorize supervisor to sign the 2026 Community Development Block Grant Project description forms.
Could I be added to that, please, Cindy?
Myself too, please.
Yeah, we should all, me too, Cindy. Okay. Town Board Resolution ID number 51307, co-sponsored by Council Members Pell, McNamara, and Martell, to authorize the purchases of gasoline from the New York State OGS contract with Sprague Operating Resources. Town Board Resolution ID number 51401, to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract amendment with Source Pass Contemporary LLC for townwide video surveillance backbone upgrade.
Town Board Resolution ID 51396, authorize the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Suffolk County Community College for the use of the Eastern Campus Pool for 2026 spring lifeguard training.
Madam Clerk, if I can be added to that, please.
Town Board Resolution ID 51395, authorize the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Suffolk County Community College for use of the Eastern Campus Pool for 2026 winter lifeguard training.
Cindy, I'll be added to that as well.
I took the
The
liberty.
next one, too.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51414, to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract amendment number 2 with Edward Wolfersdorf to assist with the additional reviews of building permit plans due to loss of staff in the building division.
You can add me to that too, please.
Town Board Resolution ID 51391, authorize the supervisor to sign a contract extension with the Dry Stick Decal Corp. Doing business as Ride-In to provide window decals and frontage.
Town Board Resolution ID 51388, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorize the supervisor to sign a contract extension with Easton Architects LLP for architectural and engineering services for the Tupper Boathouse.
Town Board Resolution 51408, co-sponsored with Council Members Pell and Martell, authorize the supervisor to sign a sole source contract with Elon City, Inc. for Evalis radar speed signs.
Town Board Resolution ID 51315, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorize the supervisor to sign contract extensions with Integrity Tree Care, Inc. as primary vendor and Jackson Dodds and Company, Inc. as secondary vendor for maintenance of trails in Southampton.
Very good.
Town Board Resolution ID 51398, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, authorize the supervisor to sign contract with Lawrence and Dimony Consulting Corp. for appraisal of 69 Horse Mill Lane, Watermill, New York.
Town Board Resolution ID 51374, authorize the supervisor to sign extension with Winston George, doing business as Winston Cleaning Services for public bathroom cleaning.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51410, to authorize the town comptroller to purchase the necessary property, casualty, auto, and liability insurance policies. Town Board Resolution ID number 51240, to authorize the upgrade of infrastructure at 133 West Montauk Highway, Hampton Bays, from Source Pass Contemporary LLC using the GSA and Omnia Partners contract. Town Board Resolution ID number 51371 to award and authorize the purchase of one 2025 Ford F350 or 350 Super Duty from Hempstead Lincoln Mercury Motors Corp. Using the New York State OGS contract for vehicles Class 1 to 8 statewide. Town Board Resolution ID number 51301, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, to declare items surplus and authorize the disposal of vehicles. Town Board Resolution ID number 51447, to recall and rescind the Town Board Resolution number 2025-1253, notice to bidders for the Vehicle Fuel Management System maintenance and installation. Town Board Resolution ID number 51255, to reject all bids for the used Ford Transit Connect cargo van for animal control. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Why is that happening? Okay, Town Board Resolution ID number 51451, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, to a resolution authorizing the supervisor to submit a grant application to the Bureau of Justice Assistance for FY25 body-worn camera policy and implementation program to support law enforcement agencies. Town Board Resolution ID number 51452, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to submit a grant application to the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention fiscal year 25 strategies to support children exposed to violence. And Town Board Resolution ID number 51399, which is co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara, 2025 notice to bidders for 4 new or used 2025 Ford Escape all-wheel drive vehicles.
Town Board Resolution ID 51444, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, 2025 notice to bidders for tree clearing at plant number 3. Town Board Resolution ID 51443, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, 2025 notice to bidders for water meter replacement.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51430, to amend the 2025 adopted budget for the Highway Department. Town Board Resolution ID number 51260, to amend the 2025 adopted, budget for the Highway Department.
One is from
Department
Parks.
signs.
What? Okay.
One is internal and one is external changes.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51400, co-sponsored by Councilman Pell, to amend the 2025 adopted budget for highway special events. Town Board Resolution ID number 51426, to amend the 2025 adopted budget for the nutrition programs. Town Board Resolution ID number 51308, to amend the 2025 adopted budget for special events. Town Board Resolution ID number 51322, to amend the 2025 adopted budget for special events. Town Board Resolution ID number 51429, to amend the 2025 budget for various departments.
Town Board Resolution ID 51428, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, amend 2026 preliminary capital budget for GAC replacement at plant number 1. Granular activated carbon.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51300, to amend the 2026 preliminary capital budget for the estimated roll-forward amounts. And Town Board Resolution ID number 51302, to adopt the 2026-2030 capital program and the 2026 capital budget. Town Board Resolution ID number 51423, to amend the 2026 preliminary budget for various charts. Town Board Resolution ID number 51304, to authorize increases in the maximum amount to be expended annually in the town of Southampton special districts. Town Board Resolution ID number 51303, to adopt the 2026 final operating budget. That all depends on how the public hearings go. The Town Board Resolution ID number 51446, co-sponsored by the entire board, which is the adoption of the annual CPF pilot payment plan for 2025-2026 tax year.
The reason why it's listed again underneath.
No, that should come out, that second
I
line.
can remove the second line.
Yes, please. Town Board Resolution ID number 51403, resolution of adoption amending Town Code Chapter 8 to override the tax levy limit established by the General Municipal Law 3-C. Town Board Resolution ID number 51412, resolution of adoption amending the Town Code Chapter 64 to eliminate term limits for zoning board and planning board members. Town Board Resolution ID number 51415, resolution of adoption amending Town Code Chapter 330-163 and Chapter 330-181 to reduce the term of the zoning board and planning board members from 7 years to 4 years.
Town Board Resolution ID 51402, resolution of adoption amending Town Code Chapter 312, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 5, Section 312-24, prohibiting parking on Sunrise Avenue, Bridgehampton. Town Board Resolution 51269, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for the Hampton Bays Fire Department Turkey Trot 5K on November 27th, 2025, from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
If I could be added to that, please.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51254 to authorize the extinguishment of a town-owned development right in relation to a carriage house located at 439 Hayground Road, Bridgehampton.
Town Board Resolution 51442, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, endorse the Town of Southampton Housing Authority in its application to New York State Homes and Community Renewal for funding under the Move in New York program.
Oh, is this the one where we get the homes?
Yes. Yes. We discussed this.
Yeah, it's just, I was gonna review that.
Sure.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51201, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, as historic landmark designation of the Nathan Topping Cook family home located at 439 Hayground Road in Bridgehampton.
Can I be added to that, Sunday?
Can I just ask a question, Supervisor, on the Housing Authority one, for the mod homes? Where are these, because I didn't think we were doing these.
No, we are. We had a meeting with Kara about this. I'm sure Rick can also shed light on this. These are a way for us to provide mod homes to various areas with the housing authority. They can do a lot of additional landscaping and any modifications to where we might want to put this. Kara has had extensive conversations with New York State HCR, and we're assured that there will be different contractors that can provide some of these different designs, and we hope that we can see those.
Yeah, so we narrowed it down, I think, to 4 different contractors that the state are most likely going to accept, and there's no commitment on our part at the end to actually take these homes. We still have to make sure that they are consistent with our building codes as far as hurricane strapping and stuff like that. Those are some of the questions we still have, but this is to get it run. We need to get committed to the program at this point.
Yeah, I know, but we had looked at these and I thought we had discussed that they didn't really fit what we had told the community was going in those.
So the
certain
size
locations.
has increased. The size is no longer like 800 square feet. It's up to 1,500 square feet, so it's more consistent with the neighborhoods that we would be putting these into.
But she also said there were 4 contractors that the state was going to approve, and the one that we saw the picture of is not the only one.
Okay,
And
okay.
that they were going to, and then my question here was, well, what if we don't like any of them? Can we reject it? And she said she was going to call, and then she said she did call, and they said, well, they wouldn't be that happy if we did that, but we wouldn't be locked in. That's why I wanted to read the contract.
As long as we're not locked in.
But it's 13, it would be the 9 and the 4 that we gave money to buy the properties.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that they meet
Yeah.
the kind of look of what we had told the community was
And we
going.
can add our own funds to do that. And we, if they look like a box when they come in, we
Yeah,
can
we can-
change.
The housing authority
We
could
can put a
commit to
porch
doing
on it,
that.
we can do other things, put stone in the front, we can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we said that, we were talking about
Yeah.
that before.
Okay, your next bill.
Town Board Resolution 51298, sponsored by the whole board. Resolution temporarily suspend transit rental restriction during the 2026 U.S. Open Championship.
Rent those houses.
Town Board Resolution ID 51427, attend Sig Sauer Academy. Town Board Resolution ID 51433, authorize attendance at the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51424 to appoint Casey Cawley to Maintenance Mechanic 1 in Community Preservation. Town Board Resolution ID number 51434 to appoint Dion Mitchell Hope to Driver Messenger in Senior Services. Town Board Resolution ID number 51437 to appoint Andrew Smith to Senior Park Attendant in the Parks Department. Town Board Resolution ID number 51449, co-sponsored by the entire board, which is a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of 11 West Shore Drive in the hamlet of North Sea, New York, and to amend the CPF Priority Plan and the CPF Management and Stewardship Plan to include the property. And Town Board Resolution ID number 51455, co-sponsored by the entire board, a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of 51 Beach Plum Road in the hamlet of Noyak, New York, and to amend the CPF Priority Plan and the CPF Management and Stewardship Plan to include the property. Town Board Resolution ID number 51456, which is a notice, co-sponsored by the entire board, a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of 87 Shore Drive in the hamlet of North Sea, New York, and to amend the CPF Priority Plan and the CPF Management and Stewardship Plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution 51450, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell, notice of public hearing to consider the use of community housing funds for the acquisition of a disability housing deed restriction.
I have a question about this one, only because I wasn't here for the conversation. I did reach out to Kara yesterday because it does say in here that there would be a deed restriction, where was it? I'm sorry.
Third whereas. Deed restriction
Oh.
difference.
Deed restriction for the disabled workforce, but it also says that, no, that wasn't the one, that wasn't the deed restriction, I was looking for the wording in here. It says something that it was, it says will remain affordable housing and a dedicated resource for disabled, for generations to come. And it said something in here about a deed restriction, but there's nothing in here about the fact that if they sell, if they default on that deed restriction, there is a penalty, but this makes it sound like this is in perpetuity, and it's not. I would just like that wording somewhere in here.
Yeah, because that was the agreement that they'll pay back the amount
Plus
provided.
15%.
Plus the 15%
But I think that
of
needs-
the difference between the sale
Yeah,
price.
but I
and
think
the-
that should be somewhere in this public hearing, so people are aware of that, because when you read the public hearing notice, it makes it seem like it's in perpetuity, and there is no way for them to get out of paying, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it makes it seem like that deed restriction stays with the house forever, and it doesn't.
Yep. Well, I don't know, now Kara's, did she leave on vacation today?
She gone.
She's leaving today. I mean, if you call her, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, like, we do this with other, when it comes to other matters that are similar, it's often discussed in a way that many of you mentioned, that it doesn't have to actually be in the resolution, it just has to be in the contract. So, but if you all now want it in the resolution, that's fine. I'm sure it could be added.
This made it seem like it's,
I'm not really fully understanding your question, Cindy, but I mean, if you really want it to be clarified in some way, but I'm still not understanding it. It does explain everything in the several whereas clauses that proceed from the second page here with the address. From there on, it explains everything.
No, I think Cindy has a point. I think in perpetuity kind of gives us the impression forever and ever, we control it forever and ever. We actually don't.
But it doesn't
At the
say in
point,
perpetuity.
and this probably is covered in the contract, but at the point when they stop offering services, or at the point that they sell it, we then recoup our money and it ends. That's not.
No, I
perpetuity.
get that, Rick, but the question is that it's being misled as if it's in perpetuity, but in nowhere, I don't see it saying in perpetuity. So what
Why
is the
don't we take
misleading
the
claim?
language out of the Sag Harbor one, where we had the same kind of thing, that they had to pay back the fund and with
A community
Penalty.
benefit note mortgage, that we do? That?
we could probably just add
Oh.
a sentence to clarify
Do you
with the
wanna-
same wording that was in the Sag Harbor resolution. Is that something you think you could find for the
We will look-
Tuesday?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
because it says removing the debt obligation will guarantee that the property will remain affordable housing and dedicated resource for the disabled population for generations to come. And there is no guarantee on that. They can sell it next year and just pay us back a 15% penalty on the money, and it's gone. So I think by saying
So why don't-
generations to come,
so
I
why
think that
don't we
needs to be
just-
removed.
Why don't we just remove that statement? Can we do,
Can we
Sunday?
remove that whole whereas?
Well, but no, because it's saying that the organization represents that removing the debt obligation will guarantee that the property will at least remain affordable housing and a dedicated resource. At least it says that. It has to at least say that it'll be a dedicated resource.
Until at which time they sell and pay a 15% penalty?
We could say something to that effect.
That's fine, I just don't want it to say this generations to come, because it's not a guarantee.
Okay.
So when are we?
Can we get
Christine,
you
Can you
the-
find that
I mean,
wording?
you can leave, yeah, I can work on the wording and pass it by you. You could leave the for generations to come, subject to the
That's
penalty
perfect.
provision of the
The penalty
15%.
provision.
If that makes it more clear, or we can put
Christine, that's
something else,
perfect.
whatever.
Subject to the penalty provision.
Unless it's sold and.
Yeah,
Yeah,
subject to,
I just
sale
want it clear
and
that there is.
penalty.
it's
I'll-
Not a
I'll-
guarantee.
Yeah, I got you.
so upon the sale, the.
Just drop,
I'll figure out
Funds
something
will
and
be
I'll
re-
pass it by Michael and see if you guys are.
right? Can't we just
Christine,
drop
send
for
me the language?
generations to
Yeah,
come?
I gotta come up
That's
with it
fine.
first.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that too, Rick. That's cleaner in my opinion. Rick's saying just drop generations to come. A dedicated resource for the disabled population and just take out for generations to come.
I'll tell you what I'm asking.
Sunday,
Does
can
that
you do
work?
that? Yes.
Yep, just
That'd be
drop
great.
for generations to come.
Got it.
It's still not right. It's still saying it's guaranteeing that the property will remain affordable housing.
And a
Even if you
dedicated
take, even if you
resource.
take for generations to come out, you're still saying it guarantees that it will remain affordable housing. There is no guarantee about that.
Yeah, so we just.
Well, I just don't understand why you can't just remove that whole whereas clause, because it says in the beginning, the one before it says why they submitted for the funding to pay off the mortgage, which will allow it to keep and maintain the rents at affordable rates. And then you can just add, until at which time they sell, and it's subject to a 15% buyback. And then take that second whereas clause, or that other whereas clause out. It's kind of redundant at that point.
Rick, what do you think?
I just want it clear to the public that there is an opt-out clause, and it is not affordable in perpetuity, before we have this public hearing.
The opt-out, the buyout, and the interest, or whatever, the add-on, is a deterrent. So we could put
Yes.
something in subject to a deterrent of,
Tell you what cares.
it's up, I mean, it's up to you.
We could keep the whereas, take out for generations to come, and put,
Subject to buyback deterrent.
However,
It says there's a penalty of
Included in the-
15% in the event that they violate the covenant.
But could we
Subject to-
incorporate the property will remain affordable housing and a dedicated resource and put that in the previous whereas? Rents at affordable rates, and the property will remain affordable and a dedicated resource for the disabled population.
Because it will. I mean, they
Will
intend
until
to. I
if
mean,
and when the
it's-
contract
That is the
is breached.
intention of the property.
but
I
anyway,
agree.
Christine, the terms are, if they do sell the home, correct me if I'm wrong, then they have to repay the funds
Plus
that
the
we provided.
15%.
But it's 15% of the difference in
Penalty.
equity. So not 15% of the whole purchase price,
I thought the 15% was a penalty, but
it's the penalty, but the penalty is
For
the.
violating the
I
covenant.
believe
Right,
it's
but
it's
15% of the
15%.
increased equity when
Yeah,
they
Just
sell.
the equity?
15%
Okay.
of the increased equity. That's what the deal is, so.
okay.
Okay.
I'd like to see that before it's, me and Rick should review that beforehand.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a crack at it, and then you guys, I'll send it to you, and then you can circulate it amongst the board and see what you
And then
think.
you're going to send it to me so I can finalize the agenda?
Once it's finalized, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a time frame on that? A couple hours?
I'll work on it, but
No, I'm just
they
wondering,
have to
I'm just
approve it.
wondering,
I
so I
don't
can tell
know.
Kim.
We could try to
you
get
know.
it to you tomorrow. Is that fair? Yeah.
But I know you
We'll
want to
finish it
post
by the end
the
of today.
agenda.
I'm not going to be here
today.
tomorrow, if that's
Public
okay.
at some point.
But this is just to schedule a public hearing, so really, couldn't the resolution be amended on the floor on Tuesday?
Yeah.
To add the
Okay.
additional?
If
So
you're
then
okay with
fine.
that.
Let's let it go forward
Yeah,
as
and then we'll-
is.
It's not a
An
local
amendment
law,
on the
this
floor.
is just a whereas, like, so
Okay.
that's fine.
Town board
That's probably an
resolution.
easier way to do it.
Yes,
Town
thank you.
Board Resolution 51405, notice of public hearing to consider amending Town Code Chapter 312, changing the speed limit on 3 roads, Big Fresh Pond Road, Lakeside Drive, and Parish Road in the Tuckahoe North Sea area.
Town Board Resolution 51487, co-sponsored with Councilman Isola. Resolution to set a public hearing to amend Chapter 312, Vehicle and Traffic for proposed remove of 3 Yale intersections in Hampton Bay south of Montauk Highway. Want to amend this one?
I couldn't get around it.
It's a long.
The next one's
One you
long.
just read?
It's just a list.
No.
Say the resolution
Yeah,
first.
Town Board Resolution 51409, I'm going to amend it to add the following. Resolution to set a public hearing to amend Town Code 312, Vehicle and Traffic, to add 3 new stop signs in the Hampton Bay south of Montauk Highway.
Kim already has it.
I have it, yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
The stop signs are replacing the yield signs.
Yes,
On advice of our highway department.
yes.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51436, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize acquisition of 31 Quantuck Bay Lane in the hamlet of Quiog, and to amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property. Town Board Resolution ID number 51440, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize the acquisition of 33 Quantuck Bay Lane in the hamlet of Quiog, and to amend the CPF project plan and the CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property. And Town Board Resolution ID number 51441, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize the acquisition of 35 Quantuck Bay Lane in the hamlet of Quiog, and to amend the CPF project plan and the CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property. Town Board Resolution ID number 51397, co-sponsored by the entire board, to authorize the acquisition of 40 Redwood Road in the village of Sag Harbor, and to amend the CPF project plan and the CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution 51453, co-sponsored with the entire board, authorize the acquisition of a historic preservation and conservation easement on property located at 11 Walnut Avenue in the hamlet of East Quogue, and amend the community preservation project plan and the CPF management and stewardship plan to include said property. Town Board Resolution 51454, co-sponsored with the entire board, authorize the acquisition of a historic preservation and conservation easement on property located at 149 South Country Road in the hamlet of Remsenburg, Spionk, and amend the CPF project plan to include said property.
And we have 4 add-ons.
Town Board Resolution ID 51297, co-sponsored by council members Iacilli, Martell, and Pell. Amend the 2026 preliminary budget for salary and related benefits increases.
Town Board Resolution ID number 51496, to accept the resignation of Amy Hayes, Records Management Assistant in the Town Clerk's Office. Town Board Resolution ID number 51497, a notice of public hearing for a local law to amend, to enact a new Article 6B entitled Hotel Development Overlay
Should I be added to that, Sunday?
the Town Code.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You
going
stopped
slow.
for,
And for emphasis, and add sections 34.5 through 34.2 to enable the discretionary review of small-scale tourist accommodations in highway business and zoning districts.
You can add me too, please.
On the third one or the fourth one?
Everybody's already on the fourth.
Oh, okay. Michael,
What?
did you want to be on the third
The
resolution?
hotel
of the law?
overlay.
Not right now.
Okay.
And the last is number 4, Town Board Resolution ID number 51500, to authorize the supervisor, this is co-sponsored by the entire board, to sign any and all agreements for award of Community Preservation Fund 20% water quality improvement project funds, all water quality
Michael.
improvement projects proposed for the 2025 Community Preservation Fund. Review that.
Yes.
All right. There you go, Cindy, thank you. So, next on the agenda is we're gonna talk about the Noyak Pedestrian Safety Project. And why don't you all come up, we got Charlie McCardle, Highway Superintendent, and Mark Brager, Deputy Highway Superintendent, and Nick Jimenez, Capital Projects Manager. Hi.
Look at you. What we're gonna get out.
I'm gonna bring you one for the future.
Nice, how are you? Good. How are you?
Oh, you got a handout for us?
It's a very exciting project. Neighborhood needs it.
Now, let's get to the bottom of this.
Bottom is that we need sidewalks as soon as we can get it.
Yeah, and you have a plan that's already pretty much finalized, or it's almost finalized?
Yes. So,
This was the one originally included, the traffic circle, right, at Long Beach, and then that,
I don't know if I don't want to interrupt, but I don't know if it included it, but they tried to use funds for it to do the traffic circle. Yeah,
and that got pulled, but we're pursuing that in another avenue now, right?
the state did not fund that under the TAP arrangement, or TAP agreement. So, yeah, Noyak Road Pedestrian Enhancements and Traffic Calming Project. It is a sidewalk and pedestrian safety improvement project from approximately Ruggs Path by Trout Pond Park to Cove Avenue East, where an existing sidewalk is currently in place. So it'll connect Trout Pond Park to, essentially, if you walk the whole distance, downtown Sag Harbor. It also passes Long Beach and, Forster Memorial Beach in the town of Southampton. But, yeah,
This has
so.
been talked about with the civics, and everybody's in favor of the project, right? Or that's the feedback we're getting?
Yes, and the Civic Association actually did conduct a
Survey.
survey, and 74% of the community was in favor of sidewalks from Trout Pond to Long Beach, and 69% were in favor of sidewalks from Long Beach to Serene Green.
And that was in like 23.
This was in April 2024.
24, okay.
So yeah, it's a little old now. Hopefully the support's gone up. I know
Yeah, it's,
Highway has been out there a couple of times and also met with the residents.
we've heard collectively, myself and Charlie's office have heard from community members for various traffic calming efforts along the corridor, so certainly.
So, everybody's in favor of the project, and the design is
Okay.
almost finished, right? But it's just now the issue is with respect to the grant funding. That's why we're here to talk about
So
whether,
sure, I'll speak to that. Back in 2023, yes, we applied for a Transportation Alternatives Program grant through the State of New York Department of Transportation. We were awarded that grant.
TAP for short.
TAP for short, sure. We were awarded that grant for $2.9 million in change. That requires, of course, a town match, and it also requires us to adhere to the New York State Department of Transportation requirements. So in conversation with the Highway Department, the Highway Superintendent and Deputy Highway Superintendent, as well as Municipal Works, we kind of put our heads together and said, perhaps there's a better way to do this project than to continue down the road of the TAP grant. Specifically, we feel we can deliver this project at least a year earlier than we would be able to deliver the TAP grant, and it reduces the amount of, again, we're still in design, but we've identified at least 10 property acquisitions that would be required should we pursue the TAP grant, as opposed to no more than 4 if we go the town route. And that's just because to design to the state details would be more stringent, think state highway as opposed to country road.
And Nick, when you say acquisitions, you're talking about eminent domain?
Eminent domain, property takings,
Like
something
people's
along those
driveway
lines.
aprons, is that the type of thing you're referring to?
And some of their front yard.
Yes, correct, some of their front yards.
But not, you're only talking,
It's a small, yeah, it's a small area, we're not
you don't
gonna,
want, people say front yard, they think the whole front yard, you're only gonna take a couple of foot here and there.
yeah, to be, specific, there are parts of Noyak Road where the actual property lines or right-of-way lines come to points. And when you improve the roadway, you don't make a point in the road, you make a nice gentle curve. So to make that nice gentle curve, the radius would then go onto that property, and you'd have to take that triangle that remains. Because neither we nor the state can build on private property without either taking it or getting an easement from the property owner. So there's that, and again, also, I think one of the bigger, or one of the larger concerns of the community, at least from what I've heard, is designing it to, state details will be a more, I guess, invasive project. It'll be more, you'll see more construction, of course, but you'll also have to install some improvements that, should we go it on our own, we can conform more to the, rural country road aesthetic as opposed to the state highway aesthetic.
Yeah, we do have to consider that, where they're going. So would curbs be required
Curbs
with
would
the
be
state?
required under the TAP grant, correct. So that's why, more intrusive, more front yard, it sets back more from the road. Because now you're cutting in curbs, you're gonna have a utility strip, and then your sidewalk.
With curbs comes drainage, because the
Correct.
curbs push the water elsewhere, and then we're gonna, there's a lot of issues with the curbs.
I mean, some of the, I don't mind interrupting you.
No, let's all,
I wasn't around and I really didn't follow what was going on, but Nyack Road used to be a county road. And at some point, the residents were concerned that at one point, as the traffic got further, it would turn into, I'm gonna use the example that I was told, some sort of Sunrise Highway. So there was a big push from the town board at the time to take in Nyack Road. They didn't realize the problems we took in also. But keeping on that theme, that we don't want it to be a major thoroughfare with curbs and so on, it was actually Nick that came to us and said, if we take a look at this, we can kind of keep it that look that it has, but give them the safety of the sidewalks. With our overseeing it, we can get it done faster, and with the contractors that Mark has relationships with, we already have a commitment that they will start the project and finish the project before they go anywhere else. Now, I don't know if any of you got a phone call yesterday, but we put in a turning lane at Long Beach to try to help with that stop sign. And the road was ground, paved, and striped in one day. And still, we had people calling, complaining that they had to go around the corner to get home. Some were very vocal about it. I forwarded you one
Yeah,
lady
we
that
talked
was so in love
Do you wanna
with
play
it.
that real quick?
We are live on TV.
If people look at Spring Fireplace Road where they did the sidewalks there, that's what it basically gonna look. It goes
Okay.
down, then it goes across the street and flows. And then if they do with the TAP grant, then it's gonna look more commercialized, up west,
Definitely.
curves.
If any of you saw what Mark did over at the Remsenburg School, we avoided a big tree, we went around it. Some of that same theory was done in, I heard somebody complain in Hampton Bays the sidewalk is like a trail.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want it to
Yeah.
look like an old neighborhood, not.
You were off the
Not a
street, and
development.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
Every time we went to see the Civic Association, it was about safety issues. And so putting all of that into play, it was Nick's idea. If we did it ourselves, we could manage it much easier. Very, in my opinion, very little extra cost. But if you look at the pros, which are on here, it's, the pros are 10 homeowners aren't gonna have to give up property, only 4. And it'll still have the look of what we would hope that Nyack Road would
And,
look like.
and it wouldn't be as much property either, because we're also,
Smaller.
right,
It's-
the
it's
sidewalk
less.
won't be
Do
as
you have to put
wide.
in retaining walls?
It depends.
If necessary,
We
we would.
did that, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we did that on Wakeman.
Yeah.
It was really close to but they did a really nice job. They did a little retaining wall, and it was right at the spot where we crossed over. You know, people give us a hard time about crossing midstream.
I think a big key is if we keep it, I'll say, in-house, as those questions come up, we can decide. Does the retaining wall go here? Do we shift the sidewalk a little bit this way? If we keep going down the TAP grant route, we'll be told, you need a retaining wall here. Or you have to shift the sidewalk. And if somebody doesn't agree with that, as we found out in the Hampton Bays project, this is the way. We've agreed to do it the way that the state says.
I mean, even with mountable curves, that's a heavy wildlife area through there too, so.
And if you further look at the history here, there was monies put aside to do sidewalks before the grant. Is that right? Before the grant was applied for. And look, I commend Tommy John and the engineer department to file for that grant. But the way we looked at it now, I think it would be a much better way if we handle it ourselves, manage it ourselves, and have our contractors do it.
Just time of the project, too.
I want to also clarify something, because this has been a question that many constituents have raised. You know, we got approximately $3 million from that money for the New York State grant. But we are required to foot 1.7 of our own money, correct? Now, either way, this is sort of what I want to underscore. Either way, we would be required to foot some sort of bill, even with the TAP money.
Nothing's free.
Right. So I just want to make that very clear, because it's not necessarily that we're giving up money. We might spend a couple of $100,000 more, but the caveat here is that we will have our own more determination in the direction of the project,
Done a year earlier, at least.
and completed earlier.
You had mentioned crossing over. How many crossovers of Noyak Road is there?
So we're just putting one in at Trout Pond now, and I think there's another one at Long Beach, right?
There's a crossover at Long Beach and potentially in the area of Cromer's.
Okay, so we're not talking about crossing multiple times, just to, okay.
And can I also?
Just,
Get your work at Trout Pond. I've noticed that you've had it where, you know, you have those pads where, you know, people that are going onto the sidewalk, you know.
Just installed.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll try to make sure that everything is ADA compliant and.
Those are.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I was referencing that, so that's an important part of
That was a big push
this.
from that development right there.
The Locust Avenue people, yeah, yeah.
You know, it makes sense that Trout Pond's a popular place. And I think the school bus stops, whatever, but it's good, good stuff,
Yep.
okay?
And I see that there's, instead of paying for construction administration with the grant, we'd be doing that in-house.
Correct.
There'd be
And the
actually
oversight.
not a lot, but we're available to do some of the clearings, all in-house. Trees have to be removed, all of that stuff can be done in-house, so that's where the savings are.
Savings, yep. That's pretty much where we're at.
And so there's going to be also a presentation at the Noyak Civic. You'll be going there.
So I was hoping, Nick, I don't know if you work nights, so you could.
Could you join us for that?
Done twice before, I can come a third time.
I will say that I
I don't
think,
know how much of, you know, I know that really the resolution, it's not even voted on, but we were stuck between the two drawings. Is there any way we could get the drawing to you know, what we're gonna do?
Yeah, of course.
All right, if you get that for Wednesday night,
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
12th.
Okay.
because they're gonna wanna see it.
Yeah,
And they're gonna wanna know who those 4 homes are.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we should get all 10, so we can get those 6 to support it,
I-
that aren't getting hurt.
I want to just say, as you know, when these conversations were going on with Nick and yourselves, and you were telling us about what you were finding in terms of the expenditure and how we might be able to have a more viable project if we did it in-house. As you know, it wasn't easy for me to say, well, I knew how hard Tommy John worked for that funding, but I do want to say, Charlie, that, you know, the folks in Noyak are extraordinarily pleased with how responsive you've been. I know we've had some complaints too because of all the work. Hey, we're working, we're doing the work. We're responding to a lot of the people that have reached out to your office, to my office, and what I've heard from people is that Noyak has not gotten this kind of attention before from the highway department. So just as a liaison to the community, I want to say I just really appreciate your attention.
I think.
And
what-
Mark, you too, I mean,
I get it,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
I just want to correct one thing, one statement on that.
Here we
The
go.
highway has been all over the town of Southampton.
yes,
Given super attention to
all the communities.
east to west and in the middle and north and south.
It is not just Noyak, Bill is
It's
correct.
all over.
Yep.
You guys are doing far beyond whatever has been done in the past.
And we're appreciative, and so is the community.
Thanks,
So
Mark.
to me, it looks like the bottom line is that it's gonna cost the town a similar amount, whether we pay the match on the grant or we do it ourselves. We'll be able to complete the project sooner. And you said it best, Charlie, we can keep the rural look, but still have the safety of the sidewalks. So I think that's
That's the goal.
the goal.
Make the people happy.
And
when they
again,
see that.
you know, we appreciate what Tommy John did, and if it worked for us, we certainly would have used it. And in the future, I'm sure we'll have to go to him for further grants.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very appreciative that the state wanted to support the project. And I'm sure they'll be able to repurpose the money for some other
right.
applicant.
Thanks very much.
Okay, well, thanks for
Just a
coming
couple
in
other
and.
things too, while you're here. I just want to say thank you for the,
Going outside the agenda, is that what you're
yes.
saying?
So you can relax, it's nothing bad.
All right.
We kept him here late as it is.
Turn it off.
I just want to say thanks on a couple of things. I drove up past the garage at North Sea transfer, I don't want to call it a dump, transfer station. You took it over, highway took it over to do the repairs on their equipment and also the parks and your trucks, anything east. The outside look, I just want to tell you, that outside, you walk around, looks so clean and organized. I talked to the people in there, but they're very happy. Keep it up.
You gotta lead by example,
Yes,
and we do.
yes, just want to make a point of that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
guys.
Did you go through the,
Yeah,
you went through it today? Well, it was
no,
all
not
done
today, not today, yeah.
You're gonna do it like 3 times. when you go
Yeah,
once.
okay.
Make U-turns to go through it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, last night I had to turn around on my way home,
Turn around to see it, not to.
yeah, yeah.
Did you want to?
Yeah.
Nah, I can just say, because you did a good job on that.
Thanks, Nick.
Chesterfield's not causing any problems.
No, they're great.
So Laura's down for 11:15, so,
Erica's just typing it up, and she's emailing it to you and T.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
Going to the updates?
yeah, so let's do the updates while we wait for the next topic. So, Cindy, would you like to get us started?
Yeah, sure. I just actually have one thing, and that is that the Suffolk County Water Authority has probably already actually completed at this point in time on Old Country Road in West Hampton. They did a water main extension that Supervisor, you and I had met with them on about providing CPF money. We did provide them with $1.2 million as a match to federal and state funds. So they are installing or have installed 7,500 feet of new main, and that will give 60 homes access to water whereby their personal wells were potentially or actually contaminated by PFAS, so.
That's excellent, good use of our CPF money.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I joined the Youth Bureau for the Youth in Government program. I gave a presentation to the students and participants there about bridge building and local government, and I talked a lot about our work that we do together as a town board. I highlighted some of the work that I've done with Councilwoman McNamara, addressing some of the issues of food insecurity, addressed some of the work that I do with you, Supervisor, and Bill with respect to sustainability and protecting the environment. I talked about some of the work I've done with Rick with housing and other things that we've worked on together, and it was a really great way to provide some inspiration and information about how government works to our students who are involved in the program. It was really nice.
That's great, because they don't teach that at school, I don't think in a lot of schools, so what it is that happens at this level of government. Well, let's see, so, yes, was it just yesterday?
Last
that-
night, yeah.
No, but, I mean, there was the Watermill Crossing affordable housing lottery.
yes, yes.
So Councilman,
They're on television.
excuse me,
I'm just letting you know,
All right.
because you're
I'm here from
talking.
Newsday.
Yes, but
Okay,
you have
we're
to
in the middle of
be,
the
you're being rude. You have to be quiet. We're on, people are watching this, okay?
Oh,
I'm not trying to be rude, I'm sorry for that.
You can't talk. Can you just sit down and
I
relax?
thought that,
okay, we're, so anyway, we participated in the lottery for the 4 affordable units. It wasn't funded by the town, but the 4 units were set aside for affordable housing because of the town's code requiring that. And we read off the names, and now, they'll select the top 4.
Yeah.
And they need to still be qualified.
Yeah.
But,
It was a great effort.
Yeah.
Great effort.
and I did have another meeting with the town attorneys and the mayors to go through the FIMP agreement that we need them to sign so that we can sign our own agreement with the state and the Army Corps for the Sandry nourishment that's gonna go in place soon. But looks like the mayors are all in agreement, and we're gonna be able to move forward with that. And that's all I have.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
The update on the engineer with the projects, I'm working with Nick and the engineer department. The outside the town hall is ahead of schedule. The primer paint already looks good. They're trying to finish before the cold weather comes. The West Hampton activity and youth center. The kickoff meeting with the contractor is next Monday. I'll be there. They hope to break ground next month and beginning of December. The date will be out once we find the exact date. The new playground's gonna be installed at Flanders Community Center in the Youth Bureau on 11/25 and 11/26. The Bridgehampton Community House columns should be completed by Thanksgiving, I hope. The animal shelter floor is 90% done. The sanitation replacement under construction should be done by the end of the month. And I keep on hearing this but I won't believe until I see it, that the safety building hopefully be demolished by the end of the year. Oh my God, they keep on telling me it's gonna be next month,
I
next
think
week.
I saw Jen in a piece of equipment over there.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, what are they waiting for? I'm gonna have to go over and do it myself. The solar panels on the Southampton ambulance building, no more the cost of $209,000, scheduled to be constructed in the near future. And the SYS roof snow guards are being installed as I speak. And that's it for Nick's report, back to me.
That's a good
Nice.
update.
Good
Thank
update.
you.
Yeah, Nick does a wonderful job for us, for the town.
Yeah.
Like he was just here.
So I know that we've mentioned the new skate park in Hampton Bays quite a few times, and we did have a survey online for it that we got a great response for. So I just wanted to remind everybody that that survey is over. We have the final ideas. We're actually getting a final design made up, and they'll bring it back to the board when they have that done shortly. For people in Hampton Bays, the new 7-Eleven grand opening is today at 3 p.m. If you're excited about that, try to get over there. Our Youth Bureau reminder, the open mic is at the Nice Place in Remsenburg, coffee shop in Remsenburg, on November 14th from 6 to 8. And I keep plugging these things, but if you go, you won't be disappointed. And the last thing I have, I went to the Eastport Fire Department breakfast on Sunday morning, which, okay, it's another breakfast. We go to plenty of them. But there was a birthday party going on, and it was for 104-year-old Gladys Rayner, sitting at the end of the table, holding court with her extended family and having just a grand old time. So I went over, I sat with her for a while and, asked her how the 104 years went. She goes, very well, I hope to do it again. And met her whole family and took some pictures, and I told her I would give her a shout out today, so happy birthday, Gladys.
Oh, wonderful. Happy
Yes.
birthday.
I actually have one more quick thing. I forgot I wasn't here last week due to a family emergency, but they did break ground on the fitness trail at Maritime Park on the canal, and I am getting a ton of positive feedback on it. People are really excited about it. Already got asked for one in North Sea, so
What's the timing on that?
it should be done by the end of the month.
Yeah,
Great.
it's going quick.
Yeah.
It's going very quick.
Yeah. They had all the equipment on site before they even started the project, so it should go really quick.
Well, that's all good news. Okay, well, our next topic is we're going to hear from Laura Pettit from our Senior Services Division on,
Yeah, you can set up.
Thank you.
and she should be here momentarily. Let's see your list.
I'm gonna be flattering.
No. Nobody's gonna be at the podium.
No, so I thought she was next door.
She's not gonna be at the podium. She's gonna join us at the table for the work
Okay,
session.
so I'm gonna mic her though. Okay, is that all right?
You can ask her.
I mean, we're just talking about possible actions that the board might take.
Right.
And she's gonna have her back to you, so.
Hi, Laura.
I'm not allowed to shoot it?
You can. Sometimes the reporters sit over in one of those chairs to get a better angle.
Okay. So I need to get sound, so is that okay? I put the mic on the table?
Okay, so I'm about to attend.
I guess they were told this was a big
Hi,
event.
come on up and join us.
How are you?
How's everybody today?
Good, Laura.
Matter where?
Sure.
Oh, text Nick now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, thanks for joining us. I reached out to Kara to ask about, I know there was something, oh, actually, did I see it?
on today.
There's a resolution with respect to some additional funding from the county.
That's correct.
And, you know, given what was happening with the SNAP benefits and the shutdown, I inquired as to whether there was some additional funding that would be available. And Kara spoke with you, and you had some thoughts on that. And so we wanted to invite you here today to just tell us what you came up with, and what you
Sure.
think would work.
So just a little background, so the county did give us extra money. This was prior to the shutdown. They didn't give it to us yet. They told us to start spending it. I got a phone call saying they wanted us to start with home delivered meals, giving people in need 7 meals because they had extra money, and that it was going to be trickling down to us. They told us, you know, how much it would be.
So Laura, we're talking specifically for seniors here, right?
Yes.
That's- Okay.
And this really has nothing specifically to do with the government shutdown
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. This is just
This was,
coincidentally
yeah.
at the same time. So anyway, the resolution is going on so that we can, we've already started doing 7 meals for people who saw they had a need for it. So we've already started spending our budget money more so than we thought we would be. So I had asked Dorothy if we could increase our budgets based on the fact that the county said the money's coming.
They offered 100,000.
So the way it's done, they separate it out in the contract. So our original contract is separated out into congregate meals, home delivered meals, and then Maricha's meals isn't even our money. We get the money, but we can't really spend it. Because we cater to Maricha's. I'm not sure if you guys understand, you know how that works. So anyway, we had $335,000 for congregate meals, and they were giving us an extra $80,000. So I had projected, based on what we were, you know, doing extra meals anyway, you know, people who needed 7 meals. So after I did all the projecting, we had a budget left of $23,097 that we could give to a senior in need now. They have a need.
So we could expand the offerings to additional people, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So any senior citizen or senior couple, family, whatever, is able to come to you directly to Housing and Community Services and ask for a meal if they need it.
Yes. So when
Town residents.
Do we get 60 years and older and a town resident? That's the only qualification. It's not income-based, it's not,
Right, so it's not specifically for SNAP beneficiaries necessarily.
No,
It can
for
be,
seniors.
right?
but this is how we could use some of the extra money to help seniors who
Might
need
be
it.
feeling the effect.
problem is if a senior who is not a SNAP benefit, we can't deny them.
Right, that's fine.
So
And
all seniors.
that's,
So, Laura, I just have a question, because Kara actually texted me. She said that she asked you to amend the resolution with the
Yes.
specific amount, and that the resolution must say that it's subject to the county awarding the town the additional funds. Do you have that wording for Sunday?
I don't have the exact wording, but
Okay.
I didn't see the actual resolution I don't know what the actual resolution already said.
If you could just get me the actual number, and I can just make sure that that's plugged in, we can amend it when we do the
Okay,
resolution.
the actual number would be $80,990.
that's great. Now, what you would be providing are cooked meals, correct? So if somebody came in saying they need other things, other necessities that sometimes SNAP covers, we wouldn't be covering those other things.
No, and
It's
then
just the meals, right? That's really great, because if somebody is hungry, that's an important part of this.
This is a service that we provide for our seniors, and they also give them 2 take-home meals on Friday, correct?
Sometimes if they
If they
ask for it.
request it.
Yeah. So it's Monday through Fridays, they come in person and have the lunches.
Yeah, so we're specifically thinking that any additional people would probably want to grab and go. They probably, if they're not already coming to sit down and eat with us, they'll probably just
Take it
want
to
to
go.
take it and go home and then eat it when they want to eat it.
Yeah.
But they're more than welcome to come and eat it warm in the center, if that's what they choose.
I just want to thank you for all your work you do, and, making sure that these are utilized and that our seniors are aware of these programs that we have. And, like when I started here, I didn't know about all the services that we provide the seniors in our community with. So it's great that you, do that extra work to try to get the word out there and make sure they know that that's available.
Thank
So,
you. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is really things that we do anyway.
Yep.
With the extra money, we were just able to project how many seniors we could help. So on that level, I said we had $23,097 left. So that gives us 1,996 meals available to the end of the year if we started next week.
That's great.
Which would be 35 seniors served at 7 meals a day.
Terrific.
7 a week.
How are
So
we,
you said 7 a day, 7 a week.
7 a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
And
said a
what's,
day.
what's the percentage of people who get it delivered versus people who come in to have a hot meal?
More people get it delivered, but the delivery is a process. There has to be a home visit by our case managers. And then there's a 37-page assessment that has to be done and put in the computer. So it would be difficult for us to get too many extra people that we aren't already servicing on home delivered in this short
this is
amount of time.
basically for
Because this
grab
money
and
is
go.
also only for 2025. I have not been, I haven't seen the contract or any numbers for 2026 yet.
so how are we gonna get the word out?
So we already have a lot of people asking, like people just calling generally. Kara said that Curtis Highsmith over at the Springville Apartments has a lot, I think that's a low-income housing, if I'm not mistaken. And he said there's a lot of people there. So I'd like to do it by referral first on who
See how
has
many we get.
the best needs. I am hesitant to just completely
Open it up.
open it up because at that point, then we have to, I don't know what, I guess, turn people away at the 35, after the 35 seniors. I don't know. I guess that's a decision for you.
It's very difficult to turn people away when they're
It's
hungry.
very
So
difficult.
it's really the first 35 seniors.
Pretty much. The only other way, if we wanted to do more seniors, like we could do 49 seniors at 5 meals a day. I mean, we're just manipulating.
The allocation, yeah.
So Laura, do people stick, I know a lot of elderly who kind of did it for a little while, then kind of waned off of it. Do you still have the old list? Maybe we can recontact some of the people who've fallen
So
off.
the old list, we do have old lists, sure. We definitely do. We don't keep any statistics on whether or not they are, what benefits they receive, like to know, who we're targeting. But we're not really targeting in the first place. So we also have all the COVID lists. The people for COVID came out of the woodwork. And that's what could essentially happen here. I mean, I guess it also depends on how long the shutdown's gonna go on. I mean,
Right.
we can't predict that, so.
Right.
But we'd make this available through the end of the year regardless.
Yeah, I have the funding to do this amount of meals till the end of the year.
So the 60,000, and I'm just looking at the resolution that we have, the 60,000 in the resolution should be amended to 80,990?
Yes.
I'll take care of that, Dorothy.
I want to thank you, and specifically for working with Supervisor Moore. When this came up, I spoke with the supervisor, and I was trying to find ways that we can work together to find any kind of benefit that would be beneficial for our seniors, because those are the ones that are really most affected when it comes to SNAP. They make up the largest number of SNAP beneficiaries. But I'm also a little bit worried, too, about other families as well that don't fall into the cohort of senior citizens. So I did talk to Kara. We are talking about allocating maybe 3,000 to 5,000 of some of our community funding to be geared toward the schools, because the schools do know who are on SNAP benefits, some of the families that they have. So in order to kind of fill the gaps while we're addressing the seniors, which is excellent that we're checking that box, we might be able to also fill the gaps as well if we allocate some of our community funding that we get that will expire anyway at the end of the year to some of those schools to provide some of those families with additional assistance.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
and that would also go through your office too. Kara's office would be looking at that and consider the applications.
And would you want us to do the meals for that? Or-
Well, I think the schools have different systems in place. Specifically, we're looking at Hampton Bays. Hampton Bays, Lars Clemenson oversees some of the programs. They do a lot of great work with giving families a variety of different avenues to get food on the table, one in which is like grocery gift cards, like Stop and Shop gift cards, so that they can shop for the necessities that they need.
Great.
I'm just wondering if
Keep in
it
mind,
would,
Michael, that during the pandemic, we also were able to donate to the food pantries that we were already donating to throughout the year. And we made sure that we did that right away through some of the community block grant money that we
Yes.
had.
Yes.
So we should look into that again, too.
well, that was my question, and rather than going to a specific school in the township, would it make more sense, because we're talking about $3,000 to $5,000, we're not talking about a huge dollar amount here, would it make more sense to make a donation to a local food pantry that people are already utilizing and let them just purchase supplies and
That
food?
was my original thought when I spoke to the supervisor about this, because our food pantries really know directly who is in need in the community, because they know the families that are coming. But this was the direction that I think the supervisor had worked out with housing for the direct, helping the seniors specifically. This was just another way to fill those gaps. I think one of the things that I've learned is that the schools actually have a good handle on the families that are in need. They know specifically who are the SNAP beneficiaries.
I understand, but if you're if you're talking about $5,000 and you're talking about Hampton Bays specifically, I mean, it's not a lot of money, and that's my whole, to
Well-
do it townwide, like if you gave it to, say, Heart of the Hamptons, who services townwide people, I mean, because there's other districts that have SNAP beneficiaries too, and to single out one district in the township.
We're not single out one district. What do you mean?
You just said Hampton Bays.
That, as an example.
Okay.
As an example, this would be open to all the school districts.
But I'm just also just wanting to know how this works for $5,000, how much work community housing has to do to get that $5,000 to all the different school districts versus
The
making
sa-
a donation to a food bank or a food pantry that can.
We could do that, but the way that would work with the schools is that the schools know what the needs are of their kids. So they know what kids are on SNAP benefits, and therefore their families are. And that school district, just like an organization, can make an application to the community housing department for a grant for that year. Like we give $500 to Our Fabulous Variety Show that Kara's office and Jamie Bowden, they sign off on.
Yeah, but-
The school districts can make an application directly to.
This is my question, do you want all this whole grant process that the schools have to go to versus getting that money out tomorrow to the school districts? I mean, to the food pantries, so it can be on the food pantries, in the shelves. And, I mean, by the time you go through this whole application process, it's not a lot of money, and I feel like that's the most direct way to get the needs met. Tuesday.
That's what I've wanted to do.
I mean,
To the-
Tuesday, we could put on a resolution giving $5,000 to Heart of the Hamptons or another food pantry.
That's what I've wanted to do. That's what
I
I
would
wanted to
assume
do.
do that.
Well, what do you mean you wanted to do it?
I've been wanting to, when I first called you, my call to you was, how do we get funding to the food pantries and food organizations? And your response after your conversation with Kara's office was, we can't do it because of the earmarks and the funding. And so this was the
I
direction.
don't recall saying that, I remember saying that I talked to Kara about, how could we utilize this money that was being offered from the county. But yes, it would be limited to the seniors because it's under the senior nutrition program. But I wasn't saying we couldn't give, and then you pursued finding that there was money left in the cable
Community.
vision.
Yes, correct.
I don't, have a
That's the money I'm
preference of
talking about,
whether
I'm
it
not
goes
talking
to a
about the
food
senior.
pantry or the schools. I know on our website, we listed all the food pantries, and there's 16 of them, so I don't know how we would decide who gets it.
Right. But that's why I'm saying the schools know the kids, they know the families, they're the ones interacting with the kids on a daily basis. I think that is the best way to go. I'd be happy to figure out a way we can give additional money to our food pantries as well. What we're doing here seems to be more of a direct aid to the individuals as per the seniors. And if we do it with the schools, it's also direct aid because those schools, again, are hands-on. They know the kids, they know the families. We could do the food pantries as well. We have additional money in the Cablevision account, so we could do $3,000 to $5,000 for the schools, and we could maybe do $3,000 to $5,000 for the food pantries as well.
Yeah, I think the food pantries is the better way to go, because I don't know too, the grants, usually when the grants requests come into Kara's office, we need to put on a resolution on the next town board agenda, which isn't until the end of November, to award those grants to the schools that request them. So you're not getting that money to those school districts until the end of November, the beginning of December, where, right, we could put a resolution on Tuesday to give $5,000 to 4 different food banks that we choose geographically
Yeah,
through the town.
we could, but if we're gonna do the food banks, we'd have to put more than,
And then we can have the school direct those individuals to those food banks.
yeah, we could do that. Yep, we could do that.
I just think it's the quicker way to get
The money
resources out there.
We could do that. Yeah,
Or we can have a conversation and figure out.
yeah. But Laura, thank you for putting this together. This is really needed.
So, in contrast to that approach, we can pretty much get this started next
Yeah.
week.
Excellent, excellent.
So-
So you have the funding then?
Yes.
Well, yes, we have the funding, we just need it allocated to the correct budget lines.
Okay,
Which is what.
Which is what the resolution is on here for.
resolution's gonna
excellent.
do.
All right, so as long as after we pass this resolution on Tuesday, then you're able to
Yeah.
tell the county, we accept the funds and,
They're not up to that part yet. So the county also has to do a resolution. So it's my understanding that the county has to do a resolution to accept the funds from the state, which is what we're waiting for to get our award letter.
Oh,
So
right.
We really don't have to tell the county anything.
okay.
Dorota may have a quick word here for.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Dorothy.
So we talked about giving money during COVID. So when we did that, we didn't give money to individual food pantries. We did $150,000 to Long Island Community Foundation, and they did the disbursement. We can't just give money to food pantry. It would have to still be a resolution to who, the amount. They would have to submit a W-9 to create a vendor. It's not just like, let's give money.
Right, so the school, that's why we went the school option, because there's a process in place where they can identify the need, go through the community housing department, and then from there,
But Dorothy still needs a resolution for each.
That's what-
Well,
and
the
that's- and
resolution
that's-
would be
well, the
very broad, and
resolution
I
is
think we
here.
kind of started drafting it.
this is the resolution.
They would still have to submit, be a vendor, because it has nothing to do with disbursement of taxes. They would still have to be a vendor, but we can create a vendor, and then based on the resolution, we could cut a check. The same if we did with, like we did with Long Island Community Foundation, or have a separate ones with each food pantry. We can't just cut a check to a food pantry.
What's
Can't do a
involved with,
resolution like this.
We could, but it would have to identify which one.
Okay.
And it would have to be some kind of agreement, that the supervisor would sign that. Because later on, they're supposed to provide us a documentation what the money was spent for. It's not just like, have a $5,000 and then do whatever you want. It's specific.
So it'd be easier to do it to like Long Island Cares and have them dispersed in
Correct.
different.
Right.
Because then
So-
otherwise you have to come up with a process too by which you are giving to
grant
each one
process.
as
It
opposed
is-
to each one, like
Right,
who are you gonna pick?
It is a
It's gotta
grant,
be.
so that's why the school, we made it kind of broad, saying any school district within the town of Southampton, they would have to reach out to Kara's office for an amount, or, for how many children, or whatever that was supposed to be.
Right.
And then they would, if they're not a vendor, then they would have to, we create, and then we can cut a check based on this resolution.
And I just want to say that I spoke about this with Tracy Colson, who's the head of our youth bureau, and he agrees that this process is also very positive.
the amount.
Because this is a positive approach, because as he works with our youth, especially within our schools, he understands that those kids do need these resources. And I think this is another great direct way, just as we're doing with the seniors, to help them. This is another direct way we can help people that are in need.
Okay, so-
And there's accountability to that.
So it's really up to the town board how they want to do it, but you have to, still, they would have to be a separate agreement with even a food pantry. Now, based on this resolution that we, hi Laura, how are you? So now, are we saying that the county is going to be give us more money, the $20,000 more, or are you saying
no,
just?
they already had told us we were getting that, and then I was trying to project how much of that was actually voucherable. Because we only had so many years, so many weeks left in the year.
Right.
So I was trying to see with our current numbers, how much we could actually use. But now if we're going to be servicing 35 seniors, 7 meals a week, we would definitely be able to voucher for the additional funds.
And they would give us the additional funds?
Yes.
Okay, so the
Kara wants-
We're
80,000.
gonna have an amended contract, hopefully by December 1st, for 2025, with the additional money.
Because I was listening, I'm sorry for
okay.
to the work session, and I thought you said that you had identified the additional 20,000 in your budget.
So no, so what I did was, this was the amount of money we had, the 335,000 was our original. They told us we were getting an additional $80,990, which took our budget up to 416. And then all the vouchers we already did.
Right.
Plus what I projected that we would be doing the next 2 months, and then how much I had after that available.
So we
is how
only
I
did
came up with.
60, but you can really get up to 80. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah,
That's
so
the
then
amount she
that's
wants,
the
and she also
amount.
wants it to say it's subject to reimbursement by the county.
But I thought we kind of said that.
It kinda
didn't we?
does.
Because that's what it says, because when Laura reached out to our department we said,
Yeah.
can you provide something that the county will reimburse us? So it kind of says that, I mean, if you want to amend it.
What it says is fine as long as it's okay with you, but the amount just needs to be changed.
Okay.
And we can do that now, because we just did the,
Right, so we would have to reach
Review.
out to Sandy and she can amend the amount.
well, I think it's really great that we're able to reach an additional 35 seniors, but of course, the need isn't just for the seniors, so Michael, thank you for communicating with Kara's office and Jamie and finding out that there's some additional funds in the Cablevision account, and talking to Superintendent Clemenson about how they know, the needs of their individual students. So however we end up doing it, whether it's to the food pantry or to the schools upon request, then that's an important step. And not sure exactly how much is left over in the Cablevision account, but we'll
It's around
find
12, right?
12.
It was 13.
13.
It was, in the emails when I checked, because we kind of, reached out to Kara. It was $13,000.
Yep.
So some of the, if we had given money
Which
to Hart.
expires.
At the end of the year, correct.
So
Which
we
means-
should use it,
Well, yes,
especially given the scenario that we find ourselves in.
absolutely, it's up to the town board, but yes, there's $13,000 in that account.
The, if we had previously given money to Heart at the Hamptons, which I think they are on the list, right, that we
We do
give
give them grant
Cablevision money, would that mean they're already an approved vendor?
Yes, if we give them money, yes, correct, then there will be a vendor there, yes. But it would have to be, like, again, additional resolution and additional agreement.
Reallocate.
Because you can't just give them more, you would have to amend that
Would be a new
agreement for a
grant.
higher amount. Yeah, like right, for a different purpose.
Right.
And so that would have to be a work-on resolution as well for the 12th if you want to do that.
I think we should do both, personally, but we'll
So
talk
the
about it.
Yes, that's
one
absolutely
thing you were proposing that you had the draft resolution is for the school would contact the town and say, I would need to have, we have 10 students, and I'd like to avail myself of
Correct.
$1,000 or $1,500 of what you have.
Correct.
And then what we send, we would have to make them an approved vendor, and then,
Well, I would say there would have to be some kind of contract or something, some documents that they, you have to either justify or however that they provided the meals to the children
or,
at the end.
yeah, they give gift cards to the supermarket or
Absolutely,
something.
however
Yeah, however they
the
do
program
it.
works. I
And
mean,
they can, they can provide that to the town.
Yes, absolutely.
But, I mean, so what's the process? It sounded like it was a long process, is it to
Well, like I said,
establish that?
the resolution that we started working with Mike, Councilman Michael Iaselli, it just states that any school within the town of Southampton can reach out to, I would say, it was at CARES office, and based on the needs, they would cut a check, and the maximum amount to disperse from that account was $5,000. Now, we can increase that account, that amount.
But if we're seeking to also help the food pantries,
But that would have to be a separate resolution
And it should say
saying.
first come, first served, so that everybody
Yeah.
knows that we're not picking and choosing
Right.
who's getting it. It's
Correct.
whoever shows up first.
And we don't need another resolution to select the recipients, right? Because we can write it so that it could be,
You have to authorize individual agreements with whoever is receiving the funding, so to the extent there's not one overall.
Well, this one says, I mean, you can read it through. It says that they would reach out to CARES office, and then it would be up to CARES office, the department, to make the disbursement up to $5,000 to all the schools, or whoever reached out to her office, up to $5,000. So I think that kind of says
okay.
to sign the agreement.
Okay, I haven't seen this.
But if you, just review it, please, if you need to make, if we need to
oh,
make
okay.
amendments.
So if we did it as a walk-on,
Yes.
then it would be up to Kara's department to, she would
Absolutely,
have the
somebody
authority
has
to just issue, it wouldn't have to come back for another resolution.
No, I don't think so. It says that we can, cut checks not to exceed $5,000. Of course, I'm assuming that would have to be some kind of agreement too, that, when we give them money, that it's signed, that they,
and Kara's office can work out those specifics.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, she does the other grants from
exactly.
that.
They do it already
So,
with
right,
all the
so
other
they would
different
know what to do.
organizations.
Now, if we want to give a different amount to, let's just say, the Long Island Community Foundation or whoever, or a specific food pantry, that would have to be a separate resolution.
Yeah, and do we have is the Long Island,
The Long Island Community Foundation, it's a
that
vendor
already a
because
vendor with
correct,
us?
we did that.
but what, they distribute funds to different food pantries? Is that their
Again,
function?
that was really CARES office that was working with them. I think we just cut them the check, and they were supposed to distribute to their local food pantry within the town of Southampton.
That's why we did it. They have a list already that they give to, and we can't give to just every food pantry. Like if it's St. Rosalie's, it's a church, you'd have to write the check to the church. We can't do that. So we go through Long Island Cares to make sure that they are reputable and so on.
And
That's
we've
how we
done
do
that
it.
before?
Yes.
We did that during COVID. Yes.
And they distribute it to the food pantries? How do they decide which pantries get it?
That's really, I have no idea. I guess as on a need basis, or whoever reaches out to them, I have really
I think at the time, Long Island Cares was just opening a distribution center in Hampton Bays. So they were concentrating on the East End at the time anyway. So they just peeled off the ones that were in the town of Southampton.
Oh, yeah, that would be a requirement.
Yes.
Southampton. All right, so we'll put a couple resolutions on for,
I see.
Could I actually keep
couple
it?
of-
Could you send that to Christine?
Sure, I can email it to you.
Notes, so I'll make a
Yeah,
copy.
yeah.
Or you
Oh,
make
you
a
can,
copy.
this is in draft, I can send it to you, you can submit it.
I just want to keep what I already wrote.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to put like a dollar amount, whichever is the latter, running out or,
And by the way, another thing that Kara said, and I want to emphasize this, is that if, if we do both or we do one or whatever, Kara said that this would, it should also be mentioned that if the government were to reopen, federal government were to reopen, this would be.
it says that, that's why I want to
says
put
that,
either
yeah.
the money runs
This
out
would
or the
close.
government, the later of
Correct.
which.
Correct.
The
This
latter.
would, we go back to the account as per its
Well,
original purpose.
We would just not make any payments,
Right,
you know.
right, correct. Okay.
oh, even if they put in for it.
Well, if it's, it stops tomorrow, then,
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying,
We don't
there's
know
no
what's gonna happen,
need,
right.
right? Or it's up to really the town board if they still want to do that or not.
Yeah, you might want to come, like if you ran out of funding, I'm not saying that you would, you may want to come back and renew if the shutdown is still, and the funds
Right.
run out. So it'll have to be fluid.
All right, very good. This is good. I'm glad
Thank you.
everybody's
Thank
so
you.
willing to help. Very collaborative. Because
Thank
there
you.
is a need, and I'm glad we have the funds to help offset it. All right, does anybody else have any other questions for Dorothy and Laura? Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Well, if there's no other comments, then,
Can you please go outside and talk?
we are in a meeting. It's a public meeting.
Calm down, everybody, like,
No,
I'm
we're on
allowed to
tape.
be here.
No,
I'm
we're on
allowed to be
tape.
here, and this is my first time here.
be here, but we're in
And
a
I'm not
live
trying to
meeting.
interrupt your session. I walked next door nicely, and I asked if you were, and I came back in. This is, the way you guys are treating me for a positive story, showing how you're trying to help Southampton right now, and the way you're speaking to me is outrageous. Never been spoken to like this from a town board.
Well, I'm sorry.
I feel
No, just please realize that this is
You are outrageous.
this is being publicly recorded,
I
so
understand that, and I had every intention
we're
of doing what you
conducting a
needed.
meeting.
I walked in and I walked out, and the woman told me I could come in anytime I wanted to.
Fine, well, we just wanted you to
Yeah,
conduct
you
your
just wanted to be a
business.
jerk, though.
No,
That's what you want.
conduct your business in the
Now you're
hallway so we
rude.
can
Believe me.
continue our meeting.
This is not rude. I have every right to be here. This is a public.
Right, but you don't have the right to just,
I'm
All
not
right,
disturbing you. I have
let's
a right.
move on.
I'm gonna
Let's
make a
move on.
noise.
all right. So if there's no other comments, then I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
And to go into executive session to discuss confidential legal advice and acquisitions.
You have a second from Rich.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.